moving upslope.
Buenos días y gracias por acompañarnos esta mañana, especialmente en el ecoexploratorio en San Juan y también en el Instituto de Pesquerías del Golfo y el Caribe. Hoy vamos a explorar un pared sur del canal de las Islas Vírgenes, noroeste de Santa Cruz. La profundidad ahora es 2.141 metros.
Doesn't sound like it. What about the thing in the background there?
Good morning, everyone. We'd like to welcome all of our viewers that are watching us and tuning in from many places that are set up live video displays throughout the country. In particular, we'd like to welcome all of our guests that are following us live from the 71st Annual Gulf and Caribbean Fisheries Institute Conference in San Andres, Colombia. Welcome. You are watching live video feed collected about 2,100 meters. What you're viewing is real-time video as we're exploring some of the deepest habitats of the Caribbean Sea. We'll be exploring this area for the next 2 weeks, and you'll be able to watch the video throughout the conference and one of the live public displays. But you'll also be able to watch this video live from any place where you get the internet. You'll just need to tune in to oceanexplorer.noaa.gov and follow the links to the live video. And you can hope you can join us as we explore some of the deepest habitats around Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So, bienvenidos. Muchas gracias por seguirnos.
Put us back in the broadcast. You can leave it on because I've got control of it over here whenever I hear him talking.
So we're looking at a squat lobster now. Our Galatheid crab. It's not one I immediately recognize, but it looks like...
One on the top edge of the screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
there's some branching. It's definitely camouflaged.
The corals just sneak up on you. You're looking at something else and you see corals in the background. So we're just going to take a quick zoom on this coral that we saw when we were looking at the squat lobster. It looks to be a branching coral of some type. Try and identify some characters so that we can relay that to our shoreside scientists. Looks to be an octocoral.
Oh.
Yeah. Looks to be some sort of mysid shrimp as well. Swimming around the colony. Can't quite see any features yet. I suspect it's a bamboo coral.
I didn't want to say it too.
Don't want to jump to conclusions here, but yeah, okay, I can see some nodes now. The dark proteinaceous structures that are occurred at spaced intervals along the colony. Yeah,
These polyps are much larger than this bamboo coral as what we've seen previously.
Right, yeah. So I was curious about the one branch point pilots, if we could, as we move around, get a better image of the branching point so we can determine where it branches with respect to those nodes or internodes. Oh, there
Oh,
goes the
oh,
Scott
oh,
lobster.
ow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we're gonna have a might have a stowaway. Can you open the box and open the box and drive it?
Now the lights might be beneficial.
Yeah. So it looks like we have 2 branch points to work with here. One lower on the colony and one higher up. I think the branch point on the lower end of the colony might be more informative. It looks to be branching from an internode, one of the white calcium carbonate parts of the skeleton. Yep, there we go. Looking for some associates too. I don't see any. I think there's just some deep sea goo.
Max soon.
Yeah, it looks like it's branching from the internode. Okay, thanks, pilot. That's good imagery, and I think we can move on when video is happy with their
What is that
photographs.
thing in the background against the rock?
Oh, yep. To the lower right.
Lower.
That seems to be.
It might be
Yeah.
a sea cucumber. Is it, or is it a
Could
polychaete?
be. I was gonna suggest polychaete, but
Can we do just a quick zoom in?
That is max soon.
Maximum? Okay,
very
that's okay.
small, whatever it is. Tough to say.
Yeah.
So we wish we had a microscope we could bring down with us, but we have to do the best we can with what we have.
Off typically for driving. That's full wide.
Oh, here's the fish. Looks like it might be a halosar.
Yeah. So the characteristic feature we use to identify these are the scales and the head regions. So if there's a good shot of that.
This guy might scoot with vibration. Laser's clear. Let's go no, it's too far forward.
Yep. Great shot.
Yeah, you can see right through its skull there. I think that's its brain right in the middle between its eyes. Very cool. So yes, this is probably a halosar. Looking back through my notes, I was able to identify the crab we saw earlier. It looks like it's a Munidopsis in the genus Munidopsis. I don't think he's still on the vehicle, but Guess we'll find out.
With a coral whip to the right edge, coming from the big rock.
Oh, yeah.
So there's another coral whip on the right edge center, coming from the big rock.
I see it as well.
Some debris floating downhill.
Look at a quick image of this suspected coral, possibly a bamboo coral. And then we have quite a long ways to go today, so we want to make sure we can accomplish our dive objectives. So I would say,
Yeah, it
do you
looks like
see
a
nodes?
bamboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see nodes.
Also a bamboo coral, yeah. So interesting, this one character we sometimes use to identify bamboo corals is the way the polyp tentacles are retracted or the polyp is contracted and kind of just hanging lazily there, not very rigid. You see them blowing in the current. Not noticing any distinguishing features here that I think it's probably most similar to the one we just saw about a minute ago or a couple minutes ago. Just this one appears to be unbranched.
Do they grow to a certain size and start branching out, or does it really depend on the environment?
It is unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracking focus.
But it looks like here the polyps are, at least they appear to be more or less all on one side of the colony, which could be an important character. And I'm not seeing any branch points, although near where the polyps start on the left-hand side, Pilot, I wonder if there's a knob there. I wonder if that could be a branch point. Yeah, just at the base of where the polyps start. If it's possible, if not, we want to, yeah. So, yeah, I think that might be either a polyp or possibly the start of a branch. I'm not quite sure, but it's kind of nondescript at the moment. So I think we'll have to take these observations. Oh, there's a shrimp in the background. I think that's just dead organism.
You can go ahead and turn them on. I don't think the fog lights reach that far.
Oh, there we go. All right.
En la pantalla es un coral blando, se llama coral bambú. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, full white. That's that. Could tilt HT2 down to find him. So much for scaring him off.
So far, everything seems to be really attracted to the vehicles this morning. Squat lobster, fish. Now if we could only get the corals to just jump in the basket. All right, so we want to...
I think you still got your spotlight on.
There seems to be a sea urchin in the bottom left.
Nav, this is watch lead. So to follow up with what Pilot was saying earlier, none of the waypoints are hard targets. We're really just interested with getting up to the contour that the end is slated at, so waypoint 3. So feel free to pull on the chain a little bit when we start lagging behind. We really want to try and make that waypoint.
It seems to be, looks like maybe a pancake urchin of some sort. Doesn't have those really pronounced sacs.
Yeah.
On the arboreal side.
Yeah, it looks like
You're sliding forward.
a type of pancake urchin as well, and I don't immediately see, sometimes these pancake urchins that live on these slopes have these white, they look like feet on the bottom edge of their spines on the lower side, the oral side of the body. I don't see them right away, so this one is distinct in that manner, but...
Tilt down to the bottom side.
Yeah, it does look like a pancake urchin. Oh, starting
now
to see some
the
knobs.
white,
Yep, there they are. They're just hidden.
Kind of like modified hooves to help them walk along the seafloor.
Yep. The substrate here is very heterogeneous. It's made up of small, what look like oolites or something similar to that, and a lot of shell material pteropod shells. Pteropod shells.
And as
Okay.
Chris was mentioning yesterday, bringing these guys up from the surface, they could leave a really wicked sting on your hands there.
Right. Okay. Science is satisfied with this specimen.
We float up to the center. Good dust. Lights are clear. Give us a nice wide side shot so we can see how steep the slope is.
So the topography here is much different from that of yesterday and any other dive, really, that we've seen so far. You have these like loose boulders. Well, I don't know if they're loose, scattered boulders. It looks to be like some
It could be a stalked
branching.
sponge. These are massive blocks.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Boulders are usually pretty good habitat for deep water corals and sponges because of the accelerated currents around them. Yeah, what's on the back side of this? Yeah, what is that? I can't tell if that's a base of something or is it part of the rock? It's strangely discolored.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it looks
could it
like,
be?
yeah,
Something that's
some
just
rusted debris.
really rusted.
Huh.
I have no idea what that could be. My first thought was like a paint can or something, but I don't think that's
Got no
it.
stability for super tight.
But definitely
Get
something
that right edge
metallic.
first.
It's got a lot of these rusticles.
Rusticles.
You
Is
never
that
heard
really?
that? Yeah, it's a real word.
Heard?
Rusticles, whenever you have rusting metal, ferrous metals that form these stalactites of sorts. Yeah. It looks like there's some life in there, possibly a carnivorous sponge. I'm just looking through the hole here, and it looks like one of those collateralized branching sponges. These long spicules. All right. Well, that's cool. And very lucky that it landed right on top of this boulder. I think there's some famous photos of the explorations of the Titanic that have a lot of rusticles, these long stalactites that are from the dissolution of the metal. Oh, yep, sorry. Yeah, I just saw that. Absolutely. I think this one that we're about to zoom on right now on top of this boulder is similar to one we've seen before, but it's good to get an image of it. This is seems to be a depth, substantially deeper depth than when we saw the last. So this to me looks like a black coral. Possibly, it's very reminiscent of heteropathes, a coral that we've seen extensively throughout the Pacific and as well now here in the Atlantic. Heteropathes.
And this one you could definitely see the mouth parts because it's facing us, which is nice.
Yeah, that's right. You can see the white dots there, little discolorations in between the tentacles.
Is this forming a new branch, or are those possibly eggs?
Yeah, we've seen that on heteropathes before. I don't know what those are actually. Yeah, sometimes they appear swollen, red, or opaque. It could be some form of reproductive part of the colony, but
Ready for full screen?
yeah, we don't usually get a chance to see that side of it. Sometimes it's facing away from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's okay, pilot.
Make it look intentional.
Oh, polychaete, yeah.
Looks like a type of scale worm.
Huh. Very cool.
Stuck the landing.
Yeah.
Flawless. Okay, thank you. The sponge is next, and then we'll keep on marching. I wasn't sure what we were going to see today, given the slope. It could have been sedimented or rocky, but it looks to be like there's a fair number of organisms are taking advantage of this type of terrain.
Yeah.
Even some fish, which are usually we don't see fish on intense slopes like this.
Okay, lasers back on. Oh, they were on.
This looks to be another glass sponge.
Let's go partial. Hold that.
This is, I think, a newer species. We haven't really seen this
Get
small of
lasers off.
stalk.
That's right, yeah. I wonder if it has something to do with the attachment to the sediment or rock underneath.
Yeah.
If, you know, it
Or maybe the age also.
Yeah, let's give it a
could
try.
be. So just based on the shape, it looks very reminiscent of something in the hyalinamatid group. You know, relatives of the sponge hyalinema, but it looks much more bowl-shaped. You know, it's a much more voluminous colony.
Okay, maybe try the high beams off. I think it's blowing it out. We'll let Roland play with it here.
Just tilt down a little bit, put it at the top of the screen. A little more tilt. And let's look at the base.
Okay. Going on the base.
And we've got a confirmation on shore that this is indeed probably a hyalinamatid in that family.
Video is clear.
Okay.
Science is
Come
clear
out
as
when you're
well.
ready. Thanks, co-pilot. Okay. See a trail on the right side, something that maybe debris that fell down slope or a holothurian track or something.
Yeah, I wonder if this area is a pretty active area, given the
Active tectonically, or how do you mean? Yeah,
tectonically.
See, I guess see some pretty big
some
sponges up
encrusting
there too.
sponges as well.
Yeah. Let's check it out. There's something in the water column. Lasers off. And zoom in, Roland. Just mucus.
Yep, larvation housing.
Larvation. Okay, let's come out full wide. Might actually just be a lighter colored.
Glass sponge just off screen right.
Sure. Don't need to go too far, but I think I'm okay right now, actually. You can leave it where it's at.
A lot of blocky
Just to keep me on track.
rubble here. Some of these things look rather fresh in terms of their color. You know, the longer something's been down at these depths, the more ferromanganese coating it has, but some of this looks relatively recently fallen, possibly carbonate rock.
Should we go in on this sponge here?
Yes, please.
Okay. Get lasers on. And then zoom in partial. To the right. Okay.
Looks like a fairy ide.
Going.
Yeah,
Sponge.
something in the family Feriidae.
Lasers clear.
Una esponja vidrio están en la pantalla.
Video is clear.
Okay, let's come out. Yeah, is that what you're talking about, Andy? On the right side there.
Seems to be a lot of
why
these
don't you go
glass
ahead and turn your head?
sponges.
I'll make sure that I Settle back to port when we're ready to move.
I wonder if these sponges are quick rowers, if any of our shoreside team knows that, these glass sponges, because they seem to be quite proliferant in these type of environments.
Yeah. Glass sponges are notoriously slow growing, but they could, I mean, assuming that this area is
Enough tether there.
more active in terms of potential disturbances like rocks falling from above at somewhat more, yeah, I see that.
Partial.
Rocks falling up above, dislodging attached fauna, these types of things. There are sponges here that
Going
seem
tighter.
to be either well placed on a rather set rock, or they're either faster growing. I don't think this is a Phreid. I think this looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit more porous, where the Phreid is more leafy. These look almost like clouds. Slightly three-dimensional, as well as I'm noticing this this other sponge here that
Yeah.
we've been
It's
seeing.
a little bit
This
rolling.
Looks like a ball.
looks like a donut, yeah, or
Yeah.
a ball. The one on the right looks like a jelly donut. We'll call it the jelly donut sponge.
So just
Going
For
tighter.
lack of a better term, it's very scientific.
Very interesting texture. It's come out rolling.
Thanks,
Far
pilot.
stretched out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back. Yeah. Okay. Anything else that you want to zoom in on here?
I think that's it. I think we
Okay.
can move on.
We're gonna get back on track here.
Oh, sorry. Did we? I just saw that stalk there.
Stock. We can do a quick zoom on
Did
that.
did we? Anyone have an idea what that was? I didn't.
I think it was something dead. I
Dead?
don't think
Okay.
it, yeah,
Stock
looked
on the
alive.
left or stock on the right?
Stalk
Sure.
on the right, but never mind.
Let's do a
We've
quick zoom. We'll
yeah.
do a snap zoom here. Go ahead, Roland.
Yeah, it looks thoroughly
dead.
dead, although
Yeah.
it looks like it could have been a sponge. We've seen stalked sponges that look like that.
Yeah.
You know, that glass sponges. Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
let's come full wide. Yeah. Yep.
Right now our depth is about 2,129 meters. We're seeing a surprising amount of life here that is not immediately recognized by us because we're diving in a very different depth zone than we have for the first 4 dives of this expedition.
Copy that. Okay. Why don't we... Yeah.
What's the white object with the double dots?
I think
at the
this
bottom?
looks. We'll do a quick snap zoom. Let's go ahead and do a. Let's do a 10-meter move toward 070.
Looks like it could be a
Another
sponge.
sponge, yeah.
Yeah.
Something growing on it, though. Or eating it. Those black knobs.
My first thought could have been gastropod shells, but
Yeah.
maybe small urchins.
Yeah, it looks like small urchins. Huh.
Can't quite tell still. Thought the spines on those urchins would be more prominent, and yeah, maybe they are urchins. They could just be grazing too on the
Yeah, on the detritus.
yeah, on the epiphytes and
Okay, let's come out rolling.
epizoic organisms.
Just a flyby there.
Nice and smooth.
So our dive plan today will take us to a depth of about 1,700 meters.
Yeah, so I suspect this is just like some rock face and then like a local
So
slope.
as steep as it is right now, I think we expect the steepness to actually increase a little bit
side, so I think
as we get into the
075 looks pretty good.
Past the
Like
next
being
ridge.
lined
50
up on the
meters,
slope.
yeah, vertical of our dive.
For what? What do you mean? Oh, you mean the auto heading? Yeah, it might have to do. There's that effect where when the motors have to reverse, directions of rotation, you get that kick off to the one side. So could be an artifact of that.
Pilot, this is watch lead.
Go ahead.
Can you snap zoom right underneath the lasers?
That
I
sponge
believe,
there?
yeah, that might
Yeah.
be a sponge.
Why don't you come down a little bit, Andy, if needed, to give me some tether. Okay, I'm gonna go forward. This thing here. Okay, let's do a partial zoom.
Ah, yeah. Might be a euplectillid.
I would say so. Yeah, it looks like Euplectellidae,
See the
possibly in
extra
the
lights.
genus Euplectella, although
Okay,
it
get the
seems
high
more
beams on.
elongate than the ones we've been seeing
Seeing,
lately.
yeah.
Shut off.
This is the glass sponge that we're seeing quite
Looks like
frequently
top
over
left.
the past few days, but
Get a full.
smaller and
Why don't we get a full
And skinnier.
yeah.
full specimen for a minute?
But it's really cool how they attach themselves to the substrate.
Right.
Okay, let's zoom in toward the base.
And look at those. You can see
Oh,
fairly
those-
well. At least we can here. Hopefully, it's not too pixelated on shore, but there's these very elongate spicules, glass fibers coming out of the body wall of the sponge here. Excellent. Thank you,
Alright, let's come out
front
and roll.
row. Well, sponges are quickly dominating
lifeless
the
fish.
community here.
Why don't you come up a few meters and on the winch?
Many more sponges, probably 2 or 3 times as many sponges as any other group we've seen so far. Oh.
Okay. Then. Yep. Sure.
Y buenos días y gracias por acompañarnos esta mañana. Este es el Okeanos Explorer. Hoy estamos buceando en un sitio noroeste de Santa Cruz, en un pared sur del canal de las Islas Vírgenes. Esta mañana vimos muchos esponjas vidrios
I got you loud and clear.
y
You do a quick test
2
for me,
o
Neff.
3 especies de corales,
Yep,
el coral
gotcha.
bambú.
Okay.
También vimos
Alright, video, are we
pepinos,
wide right now, or are we
pepinos
in?
del
I
mar.
wasn't sure.
Just past the skids.
La
Okay.
profundidad es ahora 2.129 metros. Si está mirando en la pantalla, es un esponja vidrio. Euplectylid se llama. Y hoy vamos a caracterizar los hábitats de aguas profundas, especialmente de los corales y
Yeah,
esponjas.
let's do that.
Y los esponjas hoy es muy abundante en este sitio.
Is that a fish on
That's
the
a
rock?
fish.
Right
That's one of those photophore.
Got a little bit of
Was that
sediment here.
Hypnops, or was
Yes,
that the other one?
I believe it's Hypnops. Yeah.
Can we get a snap zoom on the fish there?
We sure can. We're headed in right now for it.
Laser's clear.
Hypnops.
Okay, you can get lasers when you
We'll
can.
let
as well.
our fish experts on shore
Something
hash out the
comes about
species and
for
get
that
back
area,
to
that
us.
leak one.
We'll try and get some good zooms, though. As a reminder to scientists on shore, as well as people watching from home, we do have the ability, if needed, to collect biological and geological specimens. We're generally interested in biological specimens that are potentially new species, potentially new records for locality, significant range extensions, dominant morphotypes in a particular area, as well as specimens to identify patterns in connectivity between species. If requested, we can collect geological samples as well, usually rocks for dating certain features, such as seamounts, as well as other geochemical analyses. Yep, so this looks like Hypnops,
Yep,
at least
Hypnops.
as we've seen it. The body looks a little bit more slender.
Can we get a full screen?
Yep.
So in terms of fishes, pretty much the normal cast of characters down here, halasars
Hypnops.
and yeah, these small demersal fishes.
Video's clear.
Come on out. Is better? Lined up on the slope there. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a
Sea urchin, maybe?
I can't
Sure what
see.
is. Pilot, this is watch lead. There's something poking out. It's now heading to the center of the screen.
Yeah, let's get leave it on.
Looks
Compared to lasers, it's where?
It's to the top right.
2 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, right on the
Spiky
right
thing
side of
is 9
that,
o'clock.
that rock.
On the right side.
Right side of the rock, just to the right of the lasers. It's a dark
okay.
kind of projection.
Yeah, let's
Not
go
sure
take
if
a
it's
look at it.
sargassum or a sea
Yeah.
urchin.
So the snap zoom would
Let's
be
do a
sufficient.
snap zoom here, video.
Doesn't look living.
No.
Tilt down.
Doesn't look alive.
May have been previously living. Maybe
Is
a
that good
base
there,
of
watch
something.
leads?
Okay, thank you, pilot.
Great. So what was that about the speed I didn't hear? Okay. I think we got a fish up here. Okay, I'm gonna go check out. I think there's a fish, right? Yep, there it is. Or maybe it's
Oh,
only
looks
what
like
you're
it might be another halusar.
This one looks a little bit more pale than the previous.
Yep, I'm just gonna go see him. Okay, video, we can go in.
Looks very similar to the
To the
last
last
one.
one.
Yeah, so could be in the genus Aldrivandia.
Yeah.
I think we have enough to make an identification
Okay.
back here.
When you're good, video, we'll go find something else.
About that round thing in the sediment.
Let's take a look.
Looks like a fallen sponge.
Bunch, yeah.
Yep. I would even estimate it's the jelly donut sponge. Well, it looks like the interesting characteristics that we use for ID are on the bottom side, so I don't think it's an urchin or
No, I
of
think
any
it's
type, so I think it's a fallen
sponge.
sponge, yeah.
Yeah, 3 to 4.
So the lighter color rocks, we could assume they've fallen kind of recently. Geological terms,
the trail.
recent.
That sounds good coming from a biologist. Yeah. Yeah, we know that manganese, the iron manganese crust that we see on a lot of these rocks, this black discoloration, it takes a very long time to coat the rock. So it could be that either A, the rock has been in this area, but has flipped somehow through falling, or it could be a fresher rock from above. But there could be an option C that Option C is let the geologist talk about the geology.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been cycling it too for you, but it didn't.
But yet we've had no requests
running?
for rock samples from shoreside, so we'll
I think they wanted to
continue
do tests
on.
with it running
I think
like most of the time.
it's not
I don't know,
unreasonable
Jeff had
that
it on when I came in.
this type of material seems pretty loose in
I
spots,
know they were doing
but
that yesterday.
you know, you never know until you start to actually probe things. It could be very well sedimented. But from my understanding, geologists are very interested in
Definitely
getting
thought
rocks
that
that
was a sponge or
look
something when I
to
came
be
in. There wasn't any.
more or less in situ
That
rather
purple
than
thing, I think it is.
stuff
it?
that has fallen, because
Oh.
it
Super thin on
gives
the
you an
surface.
estimation of
Okay, well, let's
how
look then.
old that
Let me
particular
get in here first.
depth is.
That's good right there. Go ahead. Oh, it is. Okay.
Looks like a sponge.
Some kind of encrusting sponge.
Video's clear.
Copy that. Come on wide.
There's a lot of little things.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be common. Between yesterday, the previous
Something
dive,
underneath that rock to the right.
everything's very small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see that thing. We can take a look at that.
Nothing massive. And we know that, especially with respect to
Another
corals
urchin
and
up there,
sponges, very large things take a very long time to grow.
Back right.
Yes.
Oftentimes, corals and sponges are growing at millimeters to at most centimeters per year. So this, or less, millimeters per decade, or
Okay.
There's
Come on in
just been
video.
a shadow.
see some worm tubes. As well, there's some larval fishes.
Fishes, yeah.
The
Isn't
fish
that-
in the upper left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4
Really
of them.
Small.
Did somebody see those in the front row? I'm curious. You guys have.
You
Some
guys,
eyes.
you guys saw it first this time.
You
We were
can
going
kill
for
lasers.
other fuzzies.
Ah, okay.
I've counted 6 so
Nice.
far. There's 2
so
others
nice.
to the top left, but this is probably the. Yeah, there they are coming to the
There's
screen.
4 in the blue and yeah, 1 right here.
Yeah, I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the screen right now. Plus, no, 5 on the screen right now.
They look like
6
the
there.
the smaller than the one we saw early in the beginning of the dive.
A little
Has,
bit
like, yeah,
smaller, yeah. So it's
structure.
interesting. We usually never get a chance to see larval fishes, but we're seeing them all over the place on this particular dive. To date, though, we've only seen
Go tie that one up in
halosaurs
the
and,
center.
and ipnops,
Go
so
for it.
I wonder if this could
The
be
one that's close there.
one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, sorry.
more details on him.
Pretty cool because usually you have to see these things
Right.
under a microscope, and
Yeah.
we're seeing them in real time.
And they're kind of just bobbing around, holding station. They're not really expending too much
Oh, man.
energy.
Extra light.
Okay. Yeah, you want to do that, co-pilot? Extra lights.
Yeah, I don't think they would
Come
be
on.